First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, where I learned his truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson to the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is prophecies and events. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by The Guardian. And it reads, it said Colombia rejects 2 U.S. military flights with deported migrants, says official. Colombian President Gustavo Petro announced on Sunday that he has blocked U.S. military aircraft carrying deported Colombians as part of Donald Trump immigration crackdown from landing in his country. It says here, Mexico has also reportedly refused to receive a similar flight on Saturday, according to U.S. officials cited by Reuters and NBC News. It said in a post, Twitter/X, Colombia's leftist leader wrote, a migrant is not a criminal and must be treated with the dignity that every human being deserves. Says that is why I order the return of U.S. Military planes carrying Colombian migrants. Said Petro wrote, sharing a video of Brazilian deportees who has been flown out of the U.S. on Friday, shackled at the wrist and ankle. So we already know this is getting ready. This is getting very, very critical here. We know that things are getting ready to pick up. All hell is getting ready to break loose. And also we're seeing that these nations are slowly turning against the whore, Babylon the Great. We're seeing this happening left and right. And also we know that this devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. You know, we already know what he's trying to accomplish, this NWO. So he keep coming with all these different executive orders, these unrighteous decrees, this what totalitarian law, total dictatorship. He want total control. He's constantly, the most proud, Esau, Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks on. These nations are constantly bucking up, Canada, also now Mexico, and also now South America. They constantly, the heathens are raging right now. So now, let's read a little bit more. It says, he added, I cannot force migrants to remain in a country that does not want them, but if that country returns them, said it must be with dignity and respect for both them and our nation, said in civilian planes and without treating them like criminals. Say we will welcome our compatriots. Colombia deserves respect, wrote the president. So, you let these so-called, what they call them, criminals, but we already know that, these people came and tried to make a better living in America. They tried to come, doing all this cheap labor, farming the farmland, harvesting all sorts of vegetables and fruits, doing all the construction around all these major cities. So we already know that America is constantly is on the decline, and we're seeing that a lot of people right now seeing that this place is not the place to be. This place right now is shameful spirit. It's upon his glory. So right now, these countries are angry because you bringing their people back in chains, on their wrists and they shackles. So we already know there's going to be some retaliation behind it. What do this man think he is, DJ Donald Trump, which in fact, we think that he is, through the spirit, is Nero reincarnated. But we already know that this devil is getting ready to speed these prophecies up all through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So this man said, hey, we're not taking him bringing them back to the country with these chains on. And one thing about it, we already know that slavery is coming back in a big way. And one thing about it, we already know that what give this man the right to talk about you don't belong here. You got to go. This person got to go. And which in fact, he came over here and stole everything and everybody and renamed everything. And one thing about it, we already know that the Lord's getting ready to bring forth that recompense and judgment like we have never seen before. They shall burn the whore. So let's get a little bit more. It said later Sunday, said the U.S. president responded fearfully, said in a post, said on his Truth social network, said Trump wrote that he has been informed that two repatriation flights from the U.S. to Colombia has been denied landing clearance. He said Trump wrote that the flights had a large number of illegal criminals and and said the landing denial order was given by Colombian Socialist President Gustavo Petro, who he said is already very unpopular among his people. So we know that Donald Trump is allowed to say anything. We already know about the president of Colombia, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was him or the Brazilian president, whereby he's saying that it was an election fraud or something on that matter, if I'm not mistaken. But let's see here, say he accused Petro of jeopardizing U.S. national security and public safety and directed his administration to take the following urgent and decisive retaliatory measures. It said the measures include doubling tabs or taxes on the Colombian export to the U.S. to 50%. Say a ban and visa revocations on the Colombian government official, said, and all allies and supporters, said, and enhanced inspection of all Colombian nationals and cargo entering the U.S. and what he called national security ground. So we're seeing right now that he wanted to put tabs on Canada. All these trade wars are going on. We already know that DJ Donald Trump is trying to make America great again. He's constantly trying to bring back that good old boy network. He's thinking that his inward thought that he will rule forever. He's in for a rude awakening. So we're seeing right now that this president, he refused these flights, bringing these what they call so-called criminals back into their own countries, with chains and shackles. But when they was here, you was giving them free money, housing, all sorts of things. But that's why it says in Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10, never trust thy enemy. As iron rusts, so is his wickedness. So this man here is not to be trusted. So now they don't want to have anything else to do with them. Get them out. And one thing about it, they feel like now that they're useless, but we already know that these so-called illegal criminals, which in fact they was doing most of the construction, harvesting all the vegetable and different these food processing plants. They was working there, on the roadway, doing a lot of different things, doing a lot of things that the normal person wouldn't do for cheap labor. Now, all of a sudden, now they are criminals. You got to get out of here. And one thing about it, we already know that the Lord's getting ready to come to disappoint this man. We know that he's getting ready to try to bring this new system into play. A lot of things that this man is constantly trying to do. The most proud, Esau, Edom. The modern day so-called white man, a red man, Genesis 25 in verse 25, the first one came out red, Esau, Esau, Edom. And we're seeing right now, these nations are very angry. These nations are getting ready to rise up against the whore that sits on many waters. We're seeing it happening left and right. And also Mexico refused these flights. And right there, Mexico right there, our neighbors to are just like Canada. So we right in the middle. So we already know that they, things are getting ready, it's picking up. And also these other nations, are sending warnings to DJ Donald Trump. We seeing right now how these things are constantly lining up. That's why the Lord said, wait on me until I rise up against the prey. So I got another one here. They constantly, with all these different executive orders. It's another one I want to bring out about these food stamps. We're just gonna read the title. It says here, this man, he's trying to reform these food stamp, these stamp benefits. Said how stamp benefits could change under Donald Trump. So this man he constantly bringing the old source. Now I got a video to bring it out a little more. We're not gonna read all these things. It's a lot to read. You might get let's see, might get some of. Let's see. Let's get this word here. Said why it matters. It says here. This a news article by Newsweek on Newsbreak. It said why it matters is commonly known as food stamp. SNAP. It said benefits are administered nationwide to low and no income households that would otherwise struggle to purchase groceries. So in 2023, the program served an average of 42.1 million people per month and 12.6% of in the U.S. residents. So we already knowing, it serves a lot of people with low income and different things like that. But now they're trying to change it up. They were saying that you might need, you have to be working. You got to show proof that you have a job and your who stand, which all sorts of things that they're bringing for these unrighteous decrees. Also, we knowing that the sown places, it get ready to become unsown. So we already knowing that now this man is, in order to get these what I'm trying to say, trying to get these services, from the government, you're going to have to comply. We already knowing that you're going to have to eventually take it under the skin. We're not going to get too much of this. We're not going to go into this too much, but we're seeing right now that he want to reform everything. And also he was saying something about something about the what is it? Trump wants to get rid of FEMA also. You know what I'm saying? You want to overhaul it into something else. And also we know that about this child support reform. He's talking about that, if a father, like some of this I kind of go along with. If a father is paying child support at the end of the year, you have the right to file taxes on the children, and the woman won't be able to do that anymore. So a lot of these things, a lot of people trust in the strength of Egypt, and these things are fast approaching. There's something else I want to get here. It's another little report here. I think about these Tuskegee airmen. It says here by AP. It's another one here. So it's a lot of things that he's trying to overhaul. A lot of things he's changing, trying to bring forth this new system. Also, we seeing that right now this white supremacy is constantly on the rise since this man been in office. So they're thinking that that they're gonna be back in charge. Think they're gonna be running things. But right now, this man is at the end of his rulership. It says here by AP Associated Press said more DEI fallout said Air Force scraps course that use video of Tuskegee Airmen and female World War II pilots. Let's see, this one here is about, I think it was something about, let's read a little bit of it. It says, the Air Force has removed training courses with videos of its story of Tuskegee Airmen and the women Air Force service pilots, or WASPs, said the female World War II pilots who were vital in ferrying warplanes for the military to comply with the Trump administration. Says crackdown on diversity, equity, and inclusion interviz. Salaki, I don't quite know how to interviz. But anyway, we see it right here. This right here, they trying to erase history, trying to a lot of things that they don't want to be known, publicly known anymore. They covering up, especially when it comes to people of color. So we know that we are very close to Jacob Trump. This here is another executive order, and I think one of them had got blocked. I think it was about these. I think it was about this birthright citizenship. So he was trying to cut that out, but a judge blocked it. So we already know that this nation is divided. So a lot of things that he think he's going to try to do, he's in for a rude awakening. So now let's get a quick precept. Let's go here first to Jeremiah chapter 50. Let's go to verse 9. Then we're going to come back to 29. It's something I want to get out. Then we're going to start today's video. Just, I'm sorry about the jumping around. Just trying to, just things that I'm seeing in the spirit. So we see this man is bringing out all these different executive orders, these unrighteous decree, bringing forth this slowly turning this nation into totalitarian law. And one thing about it, he want to be what you call this one world dictator. You know what I'm saying? This NWO, they try to bring it forth is exactly what they've been trying to do for a long time. One world government, one world currency, one world religion. But one thing about it, we knowing that his hands will not be able to perform his enterprise. This man is getting ready to go down with a blaze of glory. It said, Jeremiah chapter 50, in verse 9, and these nations get ready to rise up against this whore. It said, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, America, said, an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. Said, from thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. So it's going into these arrows, going into these IBCM missiles, these continental ballistic missile, that kind of little tongue twist like. And so we seeing right now that these nations get ready to rise up against America because all the atrocity, they have spoiled many nations. What they have done is get ready to return upon their own head. So we get ready to see this. We get ready to witness the end of Babylon the Great. We already know that the Lord eyes upon the sinful kingdom. We're so very close. We're very excited. That's why we constantly warn you left, right. This is not your rest. Let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 50. Let's drop down to verse 29. Let's get these here. Then we're going to start today's video. Let's go here to, it says here, Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 29 said, call together the archers, said, archers against Babylon, said, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape, said, recompense or repay her according to her works, according to all that she has done, do unto her, for she has been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua. So the Lord is getting ready to devise the plan. This place is getting ready to be totally surrounded. This place is getting ready to be invaded. This place is getting ready to be desolate. This place is getting ready to be a lake of fire. The Lord is getting ready to bring forth that judgment because of what? Because of her works, because of what they have spoiled many nations. Also, all this walking great pride, thinking that he will rule forever, thinking that, he's going to make America great again. And one thing about it, the Lord is in perfect control. So now, start back up. Verse 30 said, therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off. In that day, says the Lord. Fastly approaching, man. These things are coming. We already know that it's going to be war is coming to an American shore. They already have these sleeper cells in play. We're seeing that this tension is rising on that southern border. Also, Canada, now Mexico and South America, all are constantly are rising up, and these things are getting ready to pick up, in thy security. A lot of people right now are relaxing. These things are heating up. Jacob's trouble is at the door. It's fast approaching. And it says here, so, a lot of great death and destruction, the beginning of sorrow. Verse 31 said, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, says the Lord power of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. So the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. And one thing about it, the most proud, once again, Esau, Edom. The Lord already said that his sword would come down on Idumea, a Greek word for saying what Edom, we already knowing the people that is called Edom is the modern day so-called white peoples, red people. So we know that the Lord is getting ready to bring forth that judgment. The Lord is getting ready to repay. What was done to us is getting ready to be done to them. So we already seen in those news articles how the mistreatment of to call these people are illegal migrants, saying that they are criminals. But but one thing about it, we already know who is the most proud, also who is the world criminal. You know what I'm saying? The harbinger of death is the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. He is the criminal. Stole everything, stole everybody, renamed everything. And one thing about it, and thinking that he is the most high, constantly what? Exalting and opposing the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And the Lord is getting ready to what? The Lord is getting ready to visit this place. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. We're already seeing all these strange weather anomalies that had come across the world, and these things are going to constantly pick up left and right. Things are constantly picking up. Evils are growing all around us. Let's read this once again. It says, Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 31 said, "Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, says the Lord power, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee." Lord is very close to returning, setting everything back into order. Verse 32, he said, "And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him." So that's what's getting ready to happen. We already knowing that, I think also I seen a news clip on that in New York. They're preparing for some type of nuclear attack. So we already know that things could go nuclear at any given time, a nuclear exchange. And one thing about it, we already know that these arrows are getting ready to fly, this IBCM missile. So right now, all these nations around the world are preparing for war against what? Israel, also against America. The least of the flock shall draw them out. Keep your eyes on Israel. And one thing about it, we already know that we believe that this is the hopeful year of our deliverance, and also the destruction of Esau, Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So now, let's go here to today's video, and after the video, we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
Why would President Trump sign an executive order for people to not get no food stamps and no more cash assistance? Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy, please help us. No more food stamps, no more cash assistance. How they gonna feed these children? Lord, please help us. God, please help us. God, please, too much. Oh God, no more food stamps.
Eve getting ready to get her mind right.
Child support system in our country needs reform, and it is only day one in office, and Donald Trump has signed an executive order called the Child Support Reform Act, in which he is making changes at a federal level to the child support system. Is this executive order perfect? No. Does it solve everything? No. But it does more to help fathers or child support payers, which are predominantly fathers, than any other federal act has done in years. Part one is income-based adjustment, so that child support is more closely aligned with an individual income. So those individuals that are low-income payers will suffer less of the financial burden. Part two will cap arrears. So those that fall behind on child support, there'll be a cap on the amount of interest that can be applied to keep them from going into insurmountable debt. Part three is compliance incentives. So those individuals that consistently meet their child support demands, they'll be able to apply for tax relief and benefits. The three previous parts of the executive order benefited the child support payers, so in a lot of cases the fathers. But the fourth and final part benefits the acceptor or the receiver of the child support, and it is streamlined in enforcement so that it'll make it easier for those receiving child support to collect it through an automated system. In addition to this executive order, Trump is now making it so that the individual that is paying the child support is the individual that gets to claim the child on their taxes, meaning that whoever pays gets the child tax credit, which is how it should have always been. If you're paying a lot of money to the other person, why should you not reap the child tax benefits when they don't have to pay taxes on that child support? This is just a start. Because when's the last time you saw conversations happening at a federal level regarding the child support system or the child custody system? I can't remember a time it's ever happened, but this means that now there's a stage. Now there's a place that we can go and get rid of the corruption in the family court, that we can start addressing the problems within the child support system. It starts small for it to get big, and we've got a starting point now. This is a good future
For the first time, U.S. military aircraft flying undocumented migrants out of the country as President Donald Trump launches his deportation campaign. The White House releasing these pictures, dozens of migrants in chains boarding C-17 aircraft. The flights landing in Guatemala carrying roughly 160 people, men and women.
Deportation's going very well.
Today, the Trump administration's new border czar, Tom Homan, telling me it's only the beginning. Is that going to be a constant commitment from the U.S. military every single day to take deportees out?
Yes.
This as the military buildup on the border escalates. 1,500 active duty personnel, Army and Marines deploying. Their mission to support enhanced detection and monitoring efforts and repair and replace physical barriers. ABC's Matt Rivers on the ground in San Diego.
So right now these Marines are offloading concertina wire. They're going to bring it right down to the border to reinforce it. It's clearly meant to be a deterrent against future migration. And these kinds of supply flights, we might see a lot more of them over the coming months.
Far from the border, ICE raids and arrests in cities across the country in the days since the president was sworn in, some of them likely long planned, but a clear sign of what's to come. Boston, New York, and Newark, New Jersey. Newark's mayor saying agents raided a small business without a warrant, detaining American citizens in the process.
People were fingerprinted. Pictures of their IDs and face were taken there. When I got this information, I was appalled.
The Trump administration releasing numbers showing 538 arrests over the past 24 hours. The White House saying they're initially targeting undocumented immigrants who have committed violent crimes. But Homan acknowledges not everyone swept up in the raids fits that profile. And he has a stark warning to anyone who's in the country illegally. So is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes, but you're going to see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now it's concentrating public safety threats, national security threats. That's a smaller population.
So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table. Because it's not okay to, violate laws of this country. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge should leave.
You can watch the full interview this Sunday on This Week. NBC News has also learned this morning that the country of Colombia has recently turned away 2 deportation flights from the United States. Each of those flights held about 80 people, all Colombian migrants, according to a defense official. The aircraft, which were American military C-17s, were initially cleared to land in Colombia, but the president, Gustavo Petro, revoked diplomatic clearances for all U.S. flights, meaning no military or ICE flights will now be allowed to land. On Thursday, Mexico also denied access to American aircraft to land with migrants. On Friday, Guatemala allowed 3 American aircraft carrying migrants to land.
So now let's start today's lesson. We'll start first. It's a quick lesson through the Spirit. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 30. We go here. A lot of people, come here and they trusting in all this, coming here to have a good life, that they can get successful here. But all those things is a thing of the past. This man is trying to bring forth this new system, this new way of doing things, this NWO. So I start here first in Isaiah chapter 30. Isaiah chapter 30, we get a few of them, and then we'll close out. Let's start here at verse 2. It says here, Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 2, we'll start here. It said, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not axe at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. So we seen a lot of people have came here, and this place is hand in hand with the house of bondage. Egypt is goes into the house of bondage. We already know modern day Egypt, what I'm saying, is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt is America. So a lot of people, trusting and coming down in this place, trying to make a better living for themselves and their loved one, trusting in this system, trusting in this what they have to offer, like these we come here, we're gonna put you up, we're gonna give you food stamp, we're gonna give you a room and board, and all of a sudden now, they weren't saying it at first, or anyone can come to America. America, what I'm saying, is sanctuary. We have sanctuary city, but all of a sudden now this devil is showing his horn. It says, and have not asked at my mouth the prophet. We constantly been constantly sighing and crying left and right, warning you of what? Of evils, warning you of what? Pestilence, warning you of what? Death and destruction. Also, we warning you of what? A war. War is right on our front door. It's very close. These things are picking up. World War III has begun. These things are picking up. Nations are rising against nations. The heathens are raising. A lot of these things. It says here, therefore, say in the strength of Pharaoh, say right now, who is the modern day Pharaoh? The so-called white man, DJ Donald Trump, the king of Babylon, it said themselves to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. They trust in, that they were going to come over here and they were going to be able to have a better life. They thinking that everything was going to be all right. Everything will be fine. Everything is lovely. A lot of these people come from a lot, what's called a war-torn country. A lot of people come from places that whereby, they had to deal with a lot of different oppression and affliction. But one thing about it, they don't know that coming to America is a mistake. There's a lot of these Northern Kingdom, they're coming here for judgment or they're coming here for deliverance. So we're very close this time. We know that in America have the 1/3 and the 2/3. Only here, right here in America. And America will be totally destroyed. So a lot of people are coming here for this vain glory, this something, that is very it's not going to mount up to a hill of being. This place is getting ready to be totally destroyed. So let's read it once again. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 2 said that walk to go down into Egypt, modern day Egypt is America, Babylon the Great, have not asked at my mouth the prophet, the one that's constantly sighing and crying in the highways and byways, making these video pistols, warning you about this red devil, and warning you about all these different events and prophecies and signs of the time that's happening all around the world through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, trusting in this man government, trusting in his system, and constantly, want to strive here. Imagine a vain thing. A lot of these things, our people, they're caught up, and the modern day Pharaoh, once again, is the modern day so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. So a lot of people are trusting in this place, trusting in their system, trusting in all these things that this man has to offer. And also they're going to trust in that under your skin, that grain of rice, because one thing about it, a lot of people still going to want to have what they call a sense of normalcy. It's nothing going back to saying all hell is getting ready to break loose. Verse 3 said, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. So right now, a lot of people are disgraced, they're ashamed. So they're coming out of this country in chains and shackled. They came into this country, whatever kind of mean that they came here, working, getting these food stamp assistance, getting housing, having a great old time. And all of a sudden, the Pharaoh, the modern day Pharaoh, DJ Donald Trump, the king of Babylon, saying that there are going to, a lot of criminals are here. We get ready to deport a lot of peoples out of this country. Also it started with the northern tribe, but we already know that it's always going to start with the southern tribe. It's called what? Jacob's trouble. And who will be the most in trouble? The whole world is going to be in trouble, but who will be the most in trouble? So which in fact is what? Israel, the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Indians. So I'm talking to you. It's time to seek your true power while he can be found, because we seeing right now this red devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. So now let's go here to Second Ezra chapter Second Ezra chapter 16. We'll start up at verse 18. Second Ezra chapter 16, and we'll start up at verse 18, Salakia. And it reads, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? What shall you do? And out about it, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of the time, your faith and your works. You know what I'm saying? What you have believed in will save you. And also, if you're a part of the elect, the one that was preordained from the foundation of the earth. So one thing about it, so we know right now that it's going to be a lot of mourning. It's going to be a lot of famine and great death, war, all these things are coming. You know what I'm saying? One moment, get rid of this mess here. Let's go to another bill. Let's get that off of there. That's the old devil. One moment. That's all right. We'll go to, see here, see can I get it in something else here? Second Ezra chapter. We'll go to this another Bible app. One moment. Ain't that something? That's something how that happened. Let's go here. One moment. Let's go back out. Let's go to Second Ezra. I might have to go back out. One moment. Let's go to this other Bible app. Let's go to this one here. I think it's in this one too. It says here, let's go Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. One moment. Salakia for that. Okay, it says here, highlighted a little bit. I don't go into this app too much, but I got
the beginning of sorrow.
Oh, Salakia. Let's try to get some of this highlighted just for a moment. Salakia. We'll get one more. We'll close out. Phone trying to act up, but every time you bring out the truth, the devil will get busy. But through the spirit and power, how about Shema Shai, we're gonna bring this out. Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 18 said, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So that's what we constantly warn you about, these evils. You know, we constantly warn you about pestilence, plagues, you know, all sorts of different things that they're coming up with. This reports of another pandemic, you know, also with famine, you know, famine fast and approaching. A lot of things are coming upon us. You know, we already know that they get ready to change things over to this new system, this AI takeover. So a lot of jobs and a lot of things that what we are used to are getting ready to be a thing of the past. And also we know that the sown places are getting ready to become unsown. These evils are coming upon us at a fast pace. What shall you do? Seek the Lord while he can be found. Verse 19 says, behold, famine, plagues, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for a memory. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, you know, you got to examine yourself. Get your house in order. Get your mind right. Gird up your loins. Verse 20 said, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, but be always mindful of the scourges. So a lot of people right now not mindful, not considering, really pretty much ain't paying no type of attention. You know, they're in the house of mirth right now, you know, but one thing about it, you getting ready to be in the house of mourning very soon, howling with a vexation of spirit very soon. This place is getting ready to be a third world country overnight, but right now you're not believing right now because you're not seeing it right now, because you have to be spiritual to see what's coming. One thing about it, you know, a lot of people gonna be in for a rude awakening. Verse 21 says, behold, victuals shall be good and cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Saying, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. That's exactly what we constantly say. It's constantly picking up. Things are constantly increasing. The Lord is constantly accelerating time. But people thinking that they're a good case because you're eating good right now. You still have your job right now. We know that Jacob's trouble has not begun, but we're getting very close because the signs of the time are here. But you're constantly putting off from the day to day. You're being an unbeliever, you know, because you don't see it, you feel like that's not going to happen in my lifetime. Well, guess what? It is fastly approaching. It's happening right before our eye, and a lot of people right now are relaxing in their leaves, and you're going to be totally destroyed. Verse 22 said, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So one thing about it, so a great famine is coming. Also, we know that famine of the world is fast approaching. So we already know there's going to be food shortage, rolling blackout. We're going to be civil war, civil unrest, sedition among men. They shall be like madmen, sparing all sorts of hell, hell on earth, city against city, nation against nation. A lot of these things are coming. And also that implementation of the MOTB, which in fact is the RFD microchip. These things are coming, That sword, is going to come through. We already know that this man is getting ready to use that sword in a big way. We are constantly warning you left and right. The devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. So a lot of our people still thinking that they're a good case. But one thing about it, you're in for a rude awakening. So now let's go here to our last and final script. Let's go here to Micah chapter 2. Let's go here to Micah chapter 2. We'll close out here. Micah chapter 2. See, Micah chapter 2. Micah chapter 2 and verse, I think it's 9 or 10. Verse 10. Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. Let's highlight this right quick. We'll close out. Tongue kind of drying up. It says here, Micah chapter 2 and verse 10, it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. So right now, we constantly warn you right now. A lot of people are comfortable here. Just like I said, relaxing in their lead, putting off from day to day, not considering, not watching, not even praying, they, thinking that everything is fine because they're not seeing anything very intense right now. But the men of the Lord, we seeing that these things are right in front of our face. A lot of people think that we're not living in the last day. A lot of people thinking that the Lord is not getting ready to return in their lifetime. But guess what? You're in for a rude awakening. That's why the Lord said he will come like a thief in the night. How do a thief come? When you are unaware, when you're not watching, and while you are sleeping. While you're sleeping, the devil is constantly getting busy. And how do you arise ye and depart? You know what I'm saying? We spiritually, come out of this mindset, come out of this heathen mindset, come under the total subjection to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. He is the only way and he is the only answer. So we seeing right now, this man is constantly bringing forth all these different orders, constantly slowly bringing forth this totalitarian law, these mandates, different things that he's bringing forth. He constantly bringing more affliction upon people. A lot of people right now are very angry, with these so-called white people. We seeing that these nations are getting ready to turn against a lot of these so-called Esau, Edom. We already know, how his demise is going to let every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. The Lord shall cast the wrath of his fury upon him. So we're very close to the destruction of this man. Also, we seeing that transition of power, is right before our eye, and also our salvation is at the door. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is News and Events. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.